Welcome to Stickbagger's YouTube channel. I'm Steve, and today I'm going to be doing kind of a highly requested video that I've been getting a lot of requests for on detailing your motorcycle. I am going to stop right up front here and make a little disclaimer about our video here. If you're one of the type of people that jumps on every detailing video on YouTube about cleaning your motorcycle and you make the comment,
"Why you so worried about cleaning your motorcycle? Why don't you just ride the damn thing?" Blah, blah, blah.
Dude, if you're that guy or gal, just go ahead and leave your little thumbs down right now and push on to the next video. This video is going to be for the people that actually care about taking care of their motorcycle. I know that there's already 100 detail videos on YouTube about cleaning your motorcycle or how to detail your motorcycle or cleaning chrome, or another million videos on how to do it to your automobile. And a lot of that stuff that you do to your automobile can be just transferred directly over to doing a motorcycle. There's not a whole lot of difference. So the content that we have today is not going to be anything groundbreaking or anything new. We're just going to cover the products that we like to use, some of the lessons that we've learned over time detailing motorcycles, and how we actually keep our three motorcycles as shiny as we do. I'm going to venture out there to say about 75 to 80% of the bagger motorcycles that come out of Harley-Davidson are Vivid Black. But about 99% of the stuff I'm going to show you today can be transferred over to any color motorcycle brand, it doesn't matter. But the Vivid Black ones are the ones that we get in here the most, that probably have about the most visible damage on them. So we've got a Vivid Black Street Glide back here that we're going to detail. Now, most of the products that we have right here can be picked up just about anywhere. Anymore, you guys can jump online and order this stuff. These are just some of the favorites that we use, and these are the ones that I picked out today that I'll be using on this Street Glide that I always keep finding myself grabbing for because they work. You got two choices when it comes to washing the bike. Do you want to strip all the wax off and start over? Use a Dawn dishwashing liquid. That stuff will definitely strip any waxes and greases off your bike. If you want to preserve the waxes that are already on your bike, use a pH balanced soap. Any kind of car wash soap, most of the car wash soaps I would say on the market are pretty good about cleaning the motorcycle and not stripping off the waxes. So like right now we're using the Meguiar's Gold car wash soap. It was on sale on Amazon and I bought a couple of gallons, and this stuff actually works really good. So if you want to foam cannon your bike, just buy some kind of foam cannon soap. This is Foamzilla from Killer Wax. We have a lot of that. We don't foam cannon bikes very often here, just because most of the motorcycles that we get in here, like our bikes, they don't have waterproof or water resistant audio on them. So I tend to stay away from the foam cannons and actually hosing the bike down. So we do a lot of cleaning with a waterless wash. Now this one's from Killer Wax, it's H2No, but there's a lot of waterless washes on the market. In the last year, there's a ton that's popped up. You can pick them up Walmart, AutoZone, O'Reilly's, all that stuff. Just look for a decent waterless wash. You can actually wipe your bike down with that, and you don't have to pull out a hose. So the next thing we're going to do after we wash the bike and get it dried off is clay bar. So you want to go ahead and prep the paint for the paint correction. Before we put a polisher on there, we have to make sure that we get all the little pieces of dust and grime and crap like that off there. If you can run your fingers over the paint and still feel grit and grime on your paint, you're going to want a clay bar. Now there's a lot of clay bars on the market. The Meguiar one actually works really good. This is a new one. We haven't even opened it yet. And you can use a quick detailer. Like Meguiar's actually comes with a quick detailer. Anything that's going to make the surface wet and actually slick, to run this clay bar across, you just work it. And when we get to that part, I'll show you how to do that. But just pick out a clay bar that you like. I tend to stay towards the name brand ones and not the cheap Amazon and eBay ones. Those don't seem to work that great. You get a big bulk pack of them for like 30 bucks and they're not that good. So we just, usually Meguiar's, I'll be honest with you, this is one that we pick up a lot. Once you get the bike clay barred and ready for paint correction, depending on how bad the paint is, like this Street Glide back here is pretty rough. So there's not a lot of deep scratches in it. We're just doing a light paint correction to get out swirl marks. You know, it may have been washed with a mitt that wasn't quite clean. You just, and black shows everything. You guys that have the Vivid Black bikes out there, you know the deal. I mean, you can walk past this bike and fart and it scratches the paint. So if you've got a scratch in your paint where you can actually feel it with your thumbnail, go find a heavy paint correction video. This is not the one. This is just going to be light surface scratches just to make this stuff look new again. and get rid of the haze and the spider webs and stuff like that that's always involved in black paint. So at this point, we'd have the bike washed, dried, and clay barred. Once you have all of that done and you're completely satisfied that the paint is as clean as it's going to get, you can then move on to the polishing state. So over the last few years, I've been using nothing but this stuff right here. It's the Last Cut by Jace Price. He was a detailer and he came up with this. This stuff is amazing. So I have a Ram pickup truck and the Chrysler Clear Coat is pretty tough, and I had a lot of swirl marks in it when I bought it. I bought it used, and so I needed to get it buffed out. Used several different compounds on it, couldn't get it. Talked to a buddy, he recommended this stuff, and I spent half a day buffing the truck and it looked brand new. What's great about the Last Cut is it's a diminishing compound. So what that means is when you put it on there and you're working it, it's actually cutting the clear coat, cutting all the scratches out. But as you work the product, it actually diminishes into a polish. So you're not cutting, cleaning, polishing again, cleaning. This is kind of an all-in-one. And there's other products on the market too that do the same thing. Jescar makes a really good one that does pretty much the exact same thing. When it comes to the pads that I use Lake Country pads. These things work amazing. I've got a Adams Swirl Killer Mini here that we use a lot. This thing's pretty amazing. Eventually I'll update to their 6-inch one, but you really don't have to go out and buy a $500 polisher to make this happen. When we first started detailing, we literally used like a $70 polisher and it got the job done. They vibrate like hell, they're heavy, but they work. So upgrading to the more expensive ones, yeah, it's nice, but it's not absolutely necessary. I know a lot of you guys want to maybe correct your paint without spending, you know, $500-600 to do it. So that's why we're kind of covering the products that we use here. We don't spend tons of money on top of the line, what's new this month and this is the best. And I will say this, if you're shopping at Walmart for a lot of this stuff to get your cutting compounds and your cleaning supplies, the Meguiar stuff is a safe bet. They make a really good product that's made for big box store stuff like that, but they haven't cut it, watered it down. Pretty much all of the rest of the stuff that I can actually visually think of at Walmart is liquid shit. Stay away from it. It's a waste of money. I'm not gonna sit here and pop off a bunch of names and talk bad about all these companies, but trust me, I've tested it. There's extensive test videos on YouTube that you can watch these products fail miserably. So while we're on the subject of failing miserably, for you that are thinking about leaving a comment down at the bottom about F11, I've told you for the last 2 or 3 years to stay away from that stuff. It's not what it's cracked up to be. It is what it is. And what it is very overpriced for what you're actually getting. I can't be mad at them for how they marketed it, but it's very deceiving. If you actually go in and read how to use F11, it's not a ceramic coat. It's not a one-time deal. It's not a magic pill. It's not gonna take your scratched up black Harley and you wipe it on there and it looks brand new again. It's not how it works. Well, if it tells you on there that it only lasts 3 months, well, hell, Carnauba wax lasts 3 months, and it's a quarter of the price that you're paying for that. So if you don't believe that, I'll leave a link down in the description down below, and I really, you F11 people need to go watch that video. This gentleman took a car hood and put like 20 different products on it, marked it all off, very professional video, marked each section, what product was on each section, left it outside, gave it some washes, shot like 10 update videos on this one single hood just to show what products lasted and what products failed. Guess which one the first one to fail was? F11. So everybody that I've actually spent the time trying to convince that it's not good has just been misinformed about the product. So just be informed when you're buying the F11. Don't jump on YouTube and watch some actual user videos on that stuff and not videos that were made by them or sponsored by them or product that was given away. Sure, when you spend all of this time paint correcting your bike and then you put it on, it gives it the same thing as you're getting with a bottle of wax, and it lasts about the same amount of time, and it's super expensive. So not a magic pill like everybody thinks it is. So from there, we've got the bike cleaned and polished, and we've got it as shiny as we can possibly get it. right? So now we want to seal that shine in with a good wax. So the polish is not a wax. You still need to wax the bike. All you did with the polish was correct it and make it pretty and shiny. And now you want to seal that shine in. But the first thing we want to do is use some kind of surface prep. CMX works pretty decent. You can pick that up at Walmart. Q2M Prep, pick that up on Amazon. Pretty good stuff. I use both of them. That is going to remove all of the oils that are in the polishes. You don't want the oils left on the bike. We want that stuff as clean as possible, using the surface preps to get the oils off so the wax can actually bond to the clear coat. Now to talk about my favorite part, actually sealing this stuff in. We've got a couple of different things here, and there's tons of videos on this stuff too. So you got Jescar Powerlock Plus here and Colonite 845. This one is a polymer sealant, and this is a last step wax. Amazing, amazing stuff. So this stuff here advertises that it guarantees a deep wet look, and it does. As long as you have the bike super clean, polished up really good, cleaned again, and then you put this on, it works amazing. So your question now is, how long does it last? Doing it both ways, either way, this one first, it lasted about the same. So the beading and the shining lasted almost exactly the same doing it both ways. So now how long this lasts is also going to be up to you. Just like we talked about in the beginning of the video, if you do this and the next time you wash your car, you grab dish soap, you just stripped all this stuff off your car or your bike, and now it's not gonna beat up. 9 times out of 10, I see everybody blaming the product.
Well, stuff didn't beat up after the first wash.
Well, you wash it with Dawn dish soap, well, there you go. Don't do that. This stuff, Mother's Back to Black, really good for black plastic. Anything's black plastic on the bike, the insides of these lowers, the outsides where the plastic frame is, the standard models of the Touring that doesn't have the painted interfering, that's all black plastic. Around the radio, all that's black plastic. This stuff works really good. So I'll just take this stuff and like heavily put it on a foam pad like this and actually dress all the black plastic where it's on there kind of heavy, let it set and like actually soak in, like lotion would soak into your skin, it's soaking into that plastic. So what we use the brush for is, this does come with a little spray stick like WD-40 does, where you can really get down into all the nooks and crannies, but you find yourself building up in places. And what we do then is just take this little foam brush, instead of wiping out that buildup, dip your foam brush into that little puddle you just made and smear it somewhere else. These work great for actually sticking in between the fins on the motor, all up around the spark plug boots and all that stuff. When it comes to chrome, there's a lot of chrome polishes out there. The one thing that you do have to remember when it comes to chrome is there's actual metal chrome and there's plastic chrome. 4/0 steel wool pads work great on chrome, but they are terrible for plastic chrome. So just make sure that you know what the difference is before you start sticking steel wool and start scratching. The plastic stuff, you will scratch that all to hell. Now as far as chrome goes, as long as it's really clean, I will just wipe it down and actually put a coat of wax on the chrome. I actually wax all of that chrome, and then it stays protected as well. Just putting a metal polish on there does not protect the chrome. It will clean it, but it's not going to protect it. But this stuff's from Walmart. It's Blue Magic Metal Polish Cream. It's a little bit different consistency than the Auto Saw. This is just a metal polish too. So if I'm actually having to get down there and hand work a piece of chrome to get it shiny again, or try to get a few little scratches out, this is the stuff that I use. So if you got a windshield on your motorcycle, just trying to think, we use the Rain-X for plastics on the windshield. It's actually what's recommended by a lot of the windshield companies, Rain-X for plastics. Don't buy regular Rain-X that you put on your glass window and put it on your plastic motorcycle windscreen. Use the Rain-X for plastics. Going back to washing the motorcycle, when we wash the motorcycles like physically with water and not a waterless wash, we do use a 2-bucket system, and we do have the little grit guards down in the bottom. You can pick those up cheap. Hell, I think you can even get them at Walmart now. I'm pretty sure I seen them there the other day. You can just put those in any 5-gallon bucket, and that works. You can buy the little cart with the wheels and stuff on it too if you want to get fancy. 2-bucket system, and of course cleaning your wheels separate from your paint. Your wheels and the undercarriage and all that stuff on the bike is going to be a lot grungier and dirtier than your paint. So you don't want to clean your wheel with the mitt and then stick it down in there real quick and then start wiping your paint. Chances are you've picked up a lot of stuff in that mitt, and now you're just kind of scratching your paint with it. So just a couple of different things there to look out for when you're actually washing your motorcycle. So with all that BS talking out of the way and the different products that we use here, I'll do a walk around on this motorcycle before we actually go out and do it. And then from here, we're just gonna start detailing the motorcycle. Now, just going over a walk around on the bike, we noticed how heavy the dirt was underneath the bike on the wheels and all that. The H2No or any kind of waterless wash would actually work on this. It's just going to take a lot more time. So what we've done is we've prepped the bike by taking the side covers, the bags off, the tour pack, the back seat, all that stuff. We've put some plastic and just some painter's tape around the front speakers because, like I said, those are not marine grade, and we'll just try to stay away from the dash area as best we can. But what we're going to do now is go ahead and foam cannon this bike. So what the foam cannon is designed to do is get that thick layer of foam on the bike that actually starts pulling the dirt away from the bike. Now, we picked up a foam cannon off of Amazon. You can pick these up anywhere. You can get real expensive ones, you can get super cheap ones. We've used this one about 50 times. I think it was about 20, 25 bucks, and it works great. Oh, and by the way, have you ever heard of this guy? Blacktop Devil on YouTube. Check him out. Link down in the description. Now, I went ahead and covered up the motor just because I had the towels out here because when I start polishing, I don't want to sling polish residue all over those fins, and that's really kind of a pain in the butt to get out. Now, this is the Meguiar's clay bar that we had in there, so we're just going to take a chunk of that. We're going to knead this stuff up real good, get it a little pliable, get it into a flat piece because it comes in like a square bar. Any kind of quick detailer, the Meguiar stuff works good. Like I said, if you're doing Walmart stuff, the Meguiar's works pretty good. So we're going to just start claying the paint just to get up any remaining contaminants that may be on there. Because if you've got a little speck of dirt on here or a bug and you run that polisher over it, that polisher picks up that bug, and now you're just scratching the paint. So now the parts that we took off the bike, like the side covers and the saddle bags and stuff like that, we'll actually clean and buff those on a soft table. It's a lot easier to do it on a table than it is the bike. If you've got the side cover on here and the bag, you can't get all the way to the side cover. And plus the bag, I like to do all four sides of the bag. So it's just easier to get it on a table. So if you're doing a paint correction on the entire bike, you know, it's just easy to pull these two bolts right here and pull this 4-point docking system out, and then I can get all down in there. Up here behind the bar, you can get a lot of bugs and crap down in there. We use just a towel and a plastic pry tool with a waterless wash and just get down in there and clean that up. So just to show you real quick, you can see the hazing on this black, this vivid black, and this is pretty common with the vivid black. This right here is a pretty heavy set of scratches, as you can see right there. Hopefully we can get those out, but this is pretty common with the vivid black. It's just not been cleaned properly. It could be a dirty mitt or just anything. Dry wiping, don't ever dry wipe your bike. Just go ahead, put some kind of detailer on it when you wipe your bike down, or you'll just start to get stuff like this. So with this, I'm going to be using the 3-inch Adams Swirl Killer. It's the mini, and we've got a 3.5-inch Lake Country medium cut pad, and we are going to use the last cut compound. Now with this, I just make 3 little dime size bits like that. Now, this is a diminishing compound. We talked about this earlier. Usually with a compound, you can just run this on slow speed and kind of gets the product all in the pad. But because this is diminishing, you should really kind of spread this out by hand and not slow motion speed. So you just go ahead and put it on here, and we're gonna spread it, let that spin a little bit just to kind of get worked all in the pad. We didn't really go over the towels, but I use a lot of the Rag Company towels. I believe this one's the Creature Edgeless. As you can see, it's pretty plush on this side, so it's a dual-sided towel, pretty fine on this side. And this is the side that I use for taking off compounds. And as you watched me polish, you could see that kind of turn from white to a clear, and that's what it's supposed to do. That's that diminishing properties of the product. It's actually cutting the clear coat first, and then as it diminishes down, it turns into just like a polish. So instead of doing a 2-step, you've got a 1-step now. I would say that we got about 95% of that scratch out, which is pretty good. The customer paid for just a medium cut, just get as many out as we can without going heavy on the bike. So if we bring the camera back over here, we can see the difference in the two. Now this that you're seeing in the camera right here, that's light, but here's where the scratch was right here. And we've got most of it out. We could probably hit that one more time, get a little bit more out, but the rest of the tank looks amazing. All that hazing and scratching is gone. Hey guys. So I brought the camera over here to the tour pack. We've laid up on the soft table, and I put a piece of painter's tape across it, as you can see. And we're gonna do half and half so I can show you a little bit better about what's going on with the paint and the polishing process. If I zoom in on this, you can clearly see all of the scratching and hazing that's in this clear coat. We'll kind of zoom back over here. This is the other side, pretty bad. This has been cleaned and clay barred, and now it's ready to polish. And before this is all done, I will actually take the backrest off of this tour pack and really get all in the painted areas. I'm just doing this real quick to save a little bit of time and show you the difference. If I can get this just right where you can see that line, that's the side we haven't polished, and that's the side we've polished. So you can see how it takes all that hazing, all these little watermarks and stuff that won't come out. It's just been setting on here. There's a big watermark there if I can get the angle just right. But watermarks, hazing, light scratches, all that good stuff. This is a quick and easy way to get all of that out and get your stuff looking new again. Showing you that gives you a general idea of the buffing process. I'm gonna go ahead and finish buffing the entire bike, and then we'll move on to the next step. So after several hours of polishing with the medium and the final cut, we've got the bike pretty much where we want it. Like I said before, this is what the customer wanted. It's a medium paint correction. We're not getting in there and getting the super deep stuff out. We're not doing any wet sanding or anything like that. Just using the technique that I showed you on the tour pack and on the tank. That's what we did. Get in there on the tight spots with just a wax applicator and that polish. and just get it as best as you can without actually physically taking the part off. So once we have it where we want it, we're gonna take our CMX surface prep or your Q2M prep or prep all or whatever you use. So we're just gonna wipe everything down with this. This stuff flashes pretty quick, the Q2M does too. But we want to get the polish oils off of the clear coat so we give ourselves a good stable base for the wax or whatever we're gonna do next to actually stick. The polish has a lot of oils in it. We gotta get that stuff off there. Now we're going to apply the Jescar Powerlock Plus. This is a polymer sealant like we talked about in the beginning. Doesn't take a whole ton of this stuff. Just gonna put it on the bike. Just actually kind of rub it into the clear coat. So from here, basically, we're just gonna take the Jescar and we're going to apply it to the entire bike. So basically from here, we're just gonna cover everything in the Jescar. According to the directions, it says to let that stuff set for about 30 minutes, and then we're gonna come back and we're gonna wipe it all off. We're gonna look at it, and then we're gonna seal that shine in with the Colonite 845. So we got everything covered. We let it set for a half an hour. This stuff's like Frank's, man. I put this shit on everything. I love it. So I'm just gonna scoot the camera up here so you can see how easy this stuff comes off. But just using the Creature Edgeless one more time from Rag Company. Love these towels. You just wipe that stuff right off and look at that shine. So I'll throw up a little before and after picture here so you can see the difference in the tank. Come back here to this rear fender. Man, look at that shine. Now that we have all the Jescar off, we're gonna go back in and seal all that in with the Colonite 845. Now this doesn't take a huge thick coat either. Put it on. Let it haze up, wipe it off. Generally with the bike, I can go around and do everything on the bike before I need to come back. But I'm also in a garage where the temperature is controlled, humidity is controlled. So if you're outside, make sure you're doing this in the shade. You may just want to do one panel at a time if it dries real quick. So from here, I'm gonna go ahead and wax the whole bike. So you know what's coming now. Take it off. Now, one of the products I forgot to mention at the beginning of the video, I had it laying over on the shelf and forgot to grab it, but this is the P&S Bead Maker. If you take the back of your hand or a towel and you run it across there, it is pretty smooth already with what we've already done. But if you put this stuff on top of this rag will slide off like ice. Now guys, you can put this on your entire bike and it's gonna look amazing. But now we pay close attention to the hot spots on the bikes. The front of the tank, the front of the fairings, the outer fairing out there, anywhere where bugs are gonna hit that, go ahead and put some on there. It just makes it a lot easier to clean those bugs off later. You just simply mist this stuff on, wipe it, turn your towel over and wipe it off, and it is like ice, I'm telling you. So that's another great product that you can check out as well. So we're gonna go ahead and mist this bike down. We're gonna finish putting it together. We're gonna do the tour pack and the seat and stuff on it, and then we'll do a walk around on the bike and see what we got compared to what we had. Now, like I said in the beginning of the video, this may not be the way that you do it or you've been taught to do it. This is how we do it. It's just a matter of opinion on products. I know what works for me, and I'll let the results speak for themselves back here. So like I said, this may not be the best absolute professional way to do it, but this is how we do it, and we get amazing results out of it. Now, there's a lot of great products on the market, so I'm not saying this is the absolute best stuff that's on the market. We just know what works for us, and this is what you get. So those products work great for me. And don't forget to check out a couple of buddies of mine, Mr. and Mrs. Blacktop Devil. I'm gonna put their YouTube link down below so you can click that, go over there and check out their channel. Some really good people. They got some good videos over there, install stuff. They got some moto vlogging, some cool trips that they've been on. Their channel's got a lot of really cool stuff. So pop on over there and check out their channel. Make sure to tell them Steve sent you, and hell, maybe you'll make a couple of new friends and you'll definitely have another YouTube channel to watch. I'm gonna get out of here and I'm gonna get my butt back to work. But until the next video, as always, be safe. Keep your knees in the breeze. Thanks for checking out the YouTube video, guys. If you like what you see, make sure you hit the subscribe button over here. Over 100 bagger related videos on our YouTube channel. But to get you started, maybe you can check out this one or this one. Just one of them. Not really gonna say anything else. Just click the button, man. It'll just